The story begins in a burning village where the villagers are running away as the guards are being slaughtered by 3 orc brothers. They think that they have successfully taken the village, so they start celebrating, but a man walks towards them and they wonder who he is. He pulls out his sword. Introducing himself as an adventurer named Asahi, they look down on him, calling him a pipsqueak, but Asahi claims that it would be in their best interest not to attack him. One of them charges at him, and it looks like Asahi doesn't know how to defend himself. However, the orc suddenly gets impaled by a rock spike that comes out of the ground. An adventurer named Maya appears jumping around and using a skill that unleashes lightning, causing one of the orcs to explode. The remaining orc tries to run away, but Maya jumps in front of him, causing him to be terrified. In a flashback, we learned that Asahi was involved in a car accident while trying to save a girl. He claims that his body moves on its own, but he realizes that he is now looking at the scene where he seems to have died. Asahi is happy to see that the girl survived, thinking that he just got a happy ending, but he wants to play more video games. So he hopes that they have video games in the afterlife. Asahi wonders how the people around him will react, especially his big sister Maya. At that moment, light appears in front of him. Pulling him in, Asahi falls from the sky, and he finds himself in a mysterious place with a castle and a dragon. As he walks around the village, he realizes that he was sent to a world that is like an RPG game. He bumps into a man who tells him to be more careful, and he learns that the people in that area also speak Japanese. Asahi sees the shops in the village, and they are familiar to him because he's seen them in video games before, and he is excited, thinking that he's been reincarnated into a video game. Asahi takes a picture with his phone, wanting to upload it, but he realizes that the place has no signal. He thinks that he will succeed in the world because he has plenty of experience with RPG games. Asahi goes to a pawn shop trying to sell his phone, but the old lady doesn't even know what it is. He ends up selling it to her and buying some light armor and a sword, wanting to prioritize agility with his gear. Prepared, Asahi goes to the Adventurers Guild, thinking that it is the next step. The clerk asks him what quest he wants, but Asahi admits it's his first time, so the clerk gives him an adventure registration form. Asahi completes the form, and the clerk recommends a super easy quest that involves hunting some killer rabbits, and he accepts it. He goes outside, thinking that his new life has just begun, but after leaving the town, he suddenly encounters a huge dragon. It starts flying, breathing fire. As it chases him around, he dodges the dragon's attacks, thinking the game is too difficult, and he manages to hide from the dragon. While hiding, he checks status, wondering if he was reincarnated with an overpowered skill. But it seems his only skill is to throw stones, and his base stats are completely terrible. He gets blown away, and he thinks about fighting the dragon, throwing a stone at its direction. But the stone doesn't even reach the dragonflies towards him, causing him to fall to the ground. But at that moment, Asahi thinks about his big sister, and he calls out her name, triggering a skill that causes May to appear in the world. The dragon attacks Maya, causing an explosion, but Maya manages to dodge the attack as she realizes that she has the power to protect Asahi. The dragon charges at Maya, but she blows it away with a single punch. Asahi is surprised to see his sister, thinking she must be an illusion. But Maya suddenly hugs him, telling him that she misses him. She carefully examines him and concludes that he really is her little brother. Seeing her obsessive nature, Asahi is also convinced she is his sister. He wonders how Maya ended up in the world, and she reveals that Asahi is currently in a coma. But during his sleep, he keeps on talking about living in another world, so she immediately knew that his spirit was in another world. She had repeatedly bashed her head against the wall, trying to enter the same world, and she somehow ended up there. Asahi is relieved to hear that he is still alive, and he wonders why Maya is so overpowered in this world. Maya is so overpowered in this world. Maya believes that it's because her love for him is so strong, but Asahi doesn't think it's a good explanation. Maya says that it doesn't matter, telling him to go with her. Asahi thinks that his life in this world is over, thinking she will take him back to the real world. But Maya has no idea how to get back, surprising him that she followed him into another world without a plan. Maya says that she just wanted to make sure he was safe and everything else was secondary. Maya is excited to start a new life with him, and she starts laughing like a maniac, and Asahi realizes that the story is about how overpowered his big sister is back in the present. Maya unleashes a powerful blast from her hand that vaporizes the last orc. Asahi calls her merciless, but Maya claims that the orc brothers didn't deserve mercy. He looks around, realizing that Maya has a point, thinking that it must be because the orc brothers killed so many villagers, but May reveals it's because they looked down on her little brother, so they didn't deserve mercy. She looks at Asahi's face and realizes he has a scrape on his cheek, so she becomes upset, thinking that she doesn't deserve to be his big sister. Maya offers him an elixir, but the Sahi thinks that they should save it for the final boss. He claims that abyss spit should be enough to heal the scrape, so Maya offers to lick his body. Asahi becomes scared, saying that she misinterpreted him, but she lunges toward him, telling him not to be embarrassed. The villagers watch the siblings, wondering if they are now safe. A child tells them that Asahi killed the orcs, so they praise him, calling him a mighty hero, as I thinks Maya deserved. All the credit, but she is happy to see the villagers cheering for him. They return to the Adventurers Guild, where the clerk congratulates Asahi for ranking up to the ogre class. We learn that he jumped up multiple ranks after defeating the orcs, and she gives Asahi his overclass badge, saying that it's like an identity document, so he shouldn't give it to anyone else, adding that falsifying one's rank is a crime, so he shouldn't pretend to be stronger than he actually is, because the crime is punishable by death, and Asahi gets worried because he only ranked up because he took credit for his sister's work. So he begs Maya to pretend to be weak and make it seem like he is the strong one. Maya agrees while Asahi asks about her stats, but she grabs his hand to show him her measurements. Asahi becomes flustered, explaining that he wasn't referring to her body measurements, telling her how to open her stat window, but Asahi can't see anything, wondering what's wrong, but he realizes that her stats are so high that the values have stretched off the screen. He falls to his knees, wondering why Maya is so strong while he is so weak. Asahi tells Maya not to show it to anyone, and that her stats will be kept as their secret. Maya likes this idea, wanting to know his stats, like the number of beauty marks on his body, but at that moment they hear a commotion, and they see the strongest party of adventurers walking through the crowd. Asahi sees the lady from the pawn shop, and she explains that they just had a send-off parade for them because they are on a quest to defeat the Demon King. Asahi thinks that the Demon King must be the final boss, which they must defeat in order to return to the real world. Maya wants to defeat the Demon King, but the lady claims that she will need more experience, and we learn that Siegfried, the leader of the party, is currently in the dragon class. They hear a drunk man named Delvin saying that there is nothing special about Siegfried. As he kicks a stool, the shopkeeper tries to calm him down, but he grabs his axe and destroys a table. The other people know this him, and they know that it will be difficult to stop him since Delvin is an ogre-class adventurer. But the old lady tells everyone that Asahi is also in the older class, so the crowd turns to him thinking that he can stop Delvin. Asahi becomes nervous, thinking he's about to be exposed as a fraud. Delvin calls Asahi a pep squeak, triggering Maya, but Asahi stops her, saying that she could end up killing him. Asahi comes up with a plan, whispering it to Maya. She doesn't want to follow it, but he tells her he will do anything she wants, and she instantly agrees. Asahi walks toward Delvin, trying to act cool as Delvin charges at him, but he swings his arm and the floor shatters in front of him. Delvin freaks out seeing this, and he runs away, fearing for his life. The villagers are impressed by Asahi, but it was actually Maya who broke the floor as they walk away. Asahi thinks that the plan worked well, but Maya reminds him about their deal, and she lunges at him. Elsewhere, we see a mysterious girl taking out multiple dragons, but she is bored since they were no challenge for her, and it seems that she detected Maya's overwhelming aura and has been looking for her. But that's where this video ends. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see more of this series. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.